I think one of the most interesting things about social interaction is that it often occurs on a footpath. I live in Balmain in Sydney, and I can't tell you, every time I walk down the street, I meet people that I know and I have a conversation in the street. It's plazas or public spaces that are designed for people to interact are often quite passive, because you have to go to that space and you have to sit down, and perhaps you just sit there and look, or perhaps you have a conversation with someone. But a lot of interaction occurs in movement, and this is why main street developments in old towns are so very important, because they're about that movement. They're about meeting people in the street, going into a shop. So it's about location and knowing and feeling a sense of place within the location or the environment that you're in. It doesn't have to be where you live, it may be where you work or where you go, but not necessarily just a plaza or a public space, lovely though they are. My other point about public spaces is that I often feel as though those big bare spaces do lack in just those opportunities for people to sit down. And that happens in parks, particularly in Australia. You'll go to many lovely gardens and parks and you have to sit on the grass. And look, it's kind of nicer to be able to just sit down on a seat. Go to the Domain in Sydney, it's nicer to sit down on a seat and then have that sense of place rather than having to sit on the grass. So my two very important points about sense of place and public spaces.